Okay, welcome back. My name is Darson Grantham. I'm a real estate agent here in Des Moines, Iowa. And on this channel, in this video specifically, we're going to talk about the parks of Des Moines, Iowa, where the rankings are, what's good and bad about them, and what you need to know if you're moving to the area about the Des Moines City parks. Like I said, I'm a real estate agent. I'm more of an advocate for Des Moines. My family has lived here for 10 years. I love the city of Des Moines, the surrounding suburbs. I think there is a place for anyone in the country for Des Moines. If I have a downside of selling, it would be selling the city of Des Moines because I love it so much. But in that, I'm also a truthful person. I would argue that I have talked many people out of moving to Des Moines. If you are kind of thinking about looking at moving to Des Moines and you want someone that just shoots you straight, there's no sales pitch, please reach out. Our team would be happy to help out. Just this morning, I was in a meeting with my buying admin. Her name's Kelsey, and she goes, I don't want to sell anybody real estate. I just want to tell them everything there is about certain areas of Des Moines and the real estate in that area. And I said, that is exactly who we want on our team. That is perfect. You do that and you'll be very successful. We'll be a great team. We'll make everyone very happy. Out of 100 cities across the nation, Des Moines ranked number 25. Des Moines is definitely not the 25th biggest city. Des Moines does have quite a few good parks and a lot of good up and coming parks, I would argue. And to rank 25 out of 100 cities in the United States. So you got to think 50 states, everyone has a state capital and then maybe another city within the state. And so you're saying that Des Moines City, the Des Moines park system is ranked number 25th out of 100. I see that as being very good, especially when you have to compete against the entire state of California, the entire state of New York, the entire state of Florida, the entire state of Texas. To be at top 25, I'm impressed. I think that's awesome. Now, because I live here, I see the greatness of the parks. We lived near parks up until last year when we moved out to an acreage. So we really enjoy the park system that Des Moines has. I see it every day. My family still goes to the parks. We drive from our acreage into the city to go to the parks quite commonly, quite regularly. So I'm not surprised. I'm just, it's fun to talk about. It's impressive to be 25th out of 100. And we're going to dig into that report on this video right now. Let's go. 2022 Trust for Public Lands Park Score ranking number 25 is Des Moines, Iowa, which is awesome. I'm going to go through this report and we're going to kind of talk about my experience of what I see and how they ranked it, how they determine it, and we'll just go through there. So first off, how they calculated Des Moines Park Score ranking. It looks like you have access, you have acreage, you have amenities, investment, and equity. How does it work? Each of the 100 most populous U.S. cities is awarded points based on 14 measures across 5 categories listed up above. The average of these category scores gives each city parks a ranking. In evaluating the city park system, we consider any public accessible land that functions as a park. So in Des Moines, accessibility 58 out of 100, acreage 75 out of 100, amenities 71 out of 100, investment 61 out of 100, and equity 40 out of 100. And I'm going to get deep into access means portion of the residence within a 10-minute walk of a park. A 10-minute walk of a park. Man, I am surprised it's that low. I would argue that I can't think of an area that wouldn't be within 10-minute walk of a park. I mean, 10-minute walk, depending on how fast you're walking. I mean, you can get quite a ways in 10 minutes. And Des Moines is not that big, so I'm surprised it's 50 out of 100. I would have guessed it's further up, to be quite frank. Acreage, median park size and percent of area dedicated to parks. I'd say that's probably about right. It seems, I don't know what they're comparing to, I guess. Maybe it's a park within inside of the city land that's the park's owned. Onto investments, park spending per resident. So depending on your population and how much money the city of your city, so Des Moines, is spending per resident, ranked 61 out of 100. I would expect that to be a little bit higher. I feel like the city puts a lot of money into the parks, and with our population being a little bit lower than some of the probably more populated areas, it does surprise me a little bit that that's as low as 61. Amenities, 6 popular features, such as basketball hoops, dog parks that appeal to diverse sections of users. Every park that I see, I feel like has a dog park, has basketball hoops, has jungle gym equipment, has tennis courts. I'm sure there are some that don't, but I think 71, maybe even higher, would make more sense. Distribution of parks and park access according to race and income. I'm really, really surprised this is this low. I feel like even some of the lower household income areas in Des Moines have more parks per block than some of the more affluent and wealthier neighborhoods. So the fact that this is 40 out of 100, that is very surprising to me. Almost all the neighborhoods have quite a few parks within the neighborhoods. So move on. So one of the goals that this program has in Des Moines, the city of Des Moines also has the goal is that everyone can walk 10 minutes and get to a park. And again, like I said, I feel like it's dang close to that. I think that you can get to, I think it should be above 72% can walk and get to a park within 10-minute walk. Yeah, and so this slide kind of contradicts a little bit, not me, just the report. So percentage of residents with a 10-minute walk of a park by income based on the regional median household income. And so you can see low, medium, high, all at 74, 72, 72. Well, that would tell me that this equity should be higher than 40 out of 100 because it's the same. So for depending on your income, okay, I guess you could argue maybe that income isn't the only, obviously is not the only divider in equity. I just feel like some of those, interesting. Something to work on, I guess. Maybe it doesn't contradict itself just on the income part. Yeah, and here's another good one. Across the spectrum, 70 up to 78% have 10-minute walkability depending on the race. So again, we go back up to equity, equality, equity at 40 out of 100. I still just don't see how that can make sense. I'm missing something because this shows your walkability for the Black community, 78% within 10 minutes you can get to a park, and the white is 70%. So that's obviously lower, and everyone is in between that number. I just find that's interesting how that works. This could be where the equity comes into play. It's space, nearby park space by race and ethnicity. So even though the Black population can walk to a park closer to their house more frequently, 10-minute walk, and get to a park 78% of the time, that park size per capita is smaller or a lower square foot space than it would be for the white neighborhoods. Okay, that makes more sense of why the equity is troublesome. And so that makes a lot of sense because your more urban Black neighborhoods have more dense population, would be the best way to put it, than some of the white neighborhoods. And so that's going to cause more space per person in the white neighborhoods than the Black neighborhoods. And again, space by income, low income is lower, high income is higher. Again, that's got to be a per capita thing, or per capita divided by the number of people in that neighborhood, because they can walk to a park easier, but the space in that park is a lesser amount per capita. Okay. So this is more based on the city of Des Moines. 14% of the city of Des Moines land, so what they own, 14% of that is used for parks and recreation. The median for the 100 cities that were in this report was 19%, so a little bit lower than other cities in the report. The city, and they have split it into where the city needs more parks, right? So let's go dig into this map. I'm super interested to see what all comes of it based on the parks. So I'm going to take a step back and just reiterate, this is city of Des Moines. So we're looking at the boundaries right here, all the way down. So carves out Copper Creek Golf Course. Here we go. This is the city of Des Moines. So as you can see, the park area, lack of park in the purple is interesting. A lot of that on the south side. I grew up on the south, right? I lived on the south side for quite a while, and I thought that there were parks, quite a few parks. Okay, so we got the parks in purple, the lack of park in purple, and we'll kind of zoom out a little bit further. So you have the core city, Capitol State House right here. Downtown is right here on a map. And we are seeing all of the green, dark green is the parks, and the light green is the 10-minute walkable serviceable areas. So there is considerable amount of light green. Okay, we'll go back to the website, back to the report, and we'll kind of go through the amenities that are in each of the cities. So basketball hoops, Des Moines ranked 42 out of 100, dog parks 67 out of 100, playgrounds 50 out of 100, bathrooms 78 out of 100. And that is one that most parks have bathrooms. It's very rare you'll go to a park and you will not find a bathroom at that park, as long as it's in the spring, summer, fall months. Winter months, they're usually locked down because of the freezing water pipes, because it's cold here. Recreation and senior centers, very high there. Iowa is full of, not full, but we have our fair share of elderly folks. So recreation for the seniors and senior centers, very high. Splash pads, we have splash pads all over a lot of our parks. So this is not surprising to me. I feel like every new park that is built has a splash pad, and many of the older ones do. My family personally loves parks with splash pads. It's not a pool. Kids are safe. The age that my kids are, they absolutely love it because they can get wet. They can run around in their diaper, but they are not going. You don't have to really watch them to make sure they're going to drown. You don't have to help them swim. It's a really, if you haven't done a splash pad and you have kids under 5, I recommend it. Okay, so that wraps up this kind of all about Des Moines, City of Des Moines parks. If you are interested in knowing more about the park system, more about the different neighborhoods in Des Moines, our team helps people move and learn about Des Moines all day long. So if you have any questions, hit us up below, email us, shoot me a text. We're happy to help. All of these videos on this channel are really just educational, no sales pitch, no whatever. Yes, we are real estate agents licensed in the state of Iowa, but we don't care where or if you move to Iowa. We just want to make sure that if you do move, you're moving to the place that you can call home and feel good about. So until next time, again, my name is Darson Grantham, and I am a real estate agent and investor here at Keller Williams here in Des Moines, Iowa. And if you are interested in Des Moines, please reach out. Let's talk.